The Commissioners of the Holy Land are gathered in the 4th International Congress with the theme Pastoral of Pilgrimage, Hospitality, Remembrance and Evangelization. In these first days, the friars were engaged in conferences, excursions, sharing and moments of prayer. On Saturday, November the 24th, new spaces were inaugurated as part of the renovation project for the Terra school in Jerusalem. The vocation of the Congregation of the Brothers of the Christian Schools is to give education to the students, especially the poorest, following in the footsteps of their founder, Saint Jean-Baptiste de La Salle. They come from 5 continents: Africa, Asia, America, Europe and Oceania. These are the Commissioners of the Holy Land who have been meeting in Jerusalem for the 4th International Congress on Monday, November the 26th, on the theme The Pastoral Care of the Pilgrimage, Hospitality, Memory, Evangelization. It is a pleasure to welcome you here in Jerusalem, to be here with you, to meet with you in person and to express in person the gratitude of the custody for the service you are doing, are the words of Father Francesco Patton, Custos of the Holy Land.
Prima di tutto è un piacere perché I commissari sono quelli che.
First of all, it is a pleasure because the commissioners are those who work all over the world to make our life possible here in the Holy Land, and they do it by making the reality of the Holy Land known, the life of the local Christians and also what we do. So to be able to welcome those who are so important for our lives, I would say it is a joy and a sign of this very strong bond between the custody of the Holy Land and these ambassadors of the custody scattered around the world, who are the commissioners.
Questi ambasciatori della custodia di Terra Santa sparsi per tutto il mondo, che sono I commissari di Terra Santa.
The first meeting of the vast program was the opening Mass in the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre. The celebration was presided over by Cardinal Leonardo Sandri, prefect of the Congregation for the Oriental Churches, and the solemn liturgy was concelebrated by Monsignor José Ruiz Arenas, Secretary of the Pontifical Council for the Promotion of New Evangelization, Father Francesco Patton, Custos of the Holy Land, Monsignor Leopoldo Girelli, Apostolic Delegate in Jerusalem, together with all the commissioners. In the first conference, Cardinal Leonardo Sandri stressed, as members of the custody of the Holy Land and of the Congregation for the Oriental Churches, we want to renew the sense of wonder because we have been called to meet the Lord and to serve Him.
Quindi qui nella Terra Santa c'è la realizzazione della nostra identità.
Here in the Holy Land is the realization of our identity, and therefore for each one of us to return to Jerusalem and renew this Christian identity, with more reasons certainly of the commissioners who are spread all over the whole world and who remember the presence of Jesus, the holy places, the life of Jesus on this earth, and can thus invite all the faithful to come to the Holy Land and to renew our baptism, our identity. I do not live, Christ lives in me.
Qui il nostro battesimo, la nostra identità. Non vivo io, Cristo vive in me.
Cardinal Sandri then recalled the visit of Pope Paul VI.
Lui fu eletto Papa nel 1963.
He was elected Pope in 1963. And what was the first trip, the first move that he wanted to make as Pope, as successor of Peter, as the visible principle of the whole Catholic Church? To come to the Holy Land, come to renew his person as a Christian and as a servant of Jesus.
Rinnovare la sua persona come cristiano e come servo di Gesù.
The first day of the Congress witnessed the participation of Father Francesco Patton, Father Marcello Ariel Ciccinelli, the person in charge of the coordination office for the commissaires, Father Ramzi Sidawi, treasurer of the custody, and Father Dobromir Yatsal, custodial vicar. The commissioners of the Holy Land have their own organization within the Order of Friars Minor. The day ended in the cenacle with a recital of Vespers presided over by Father Francesco Patton. This place, we know, is extraordinarily dear to our order and especially to us friars of the custody of the Holy Land, because it is the place where our first convent and our headquarters were since 1333. We know, said the custodians of the Holy Land, how much the Holy Spirit is central to our Franciscan spirituality. The rule branded in chapter 10 reminds us that what we are called to desire above all is precisely to have the Spirit of the Lord and His holy operation. The Congress of the Commissioners of the Holy Land continues with conferences, excursions, and the sharing of the various realities of the Holy Land. Pilgrimages, biblical and anthropological aspects, sanctuaries of the Holy Land in archaeology and tradition, the presentation of the new guide to the Holy Land, formation of pilgrim groups in relation to agencies, the sanctuary in the Holy Scriptures, the proclamation of the Word of God during the pilgrimage, liturgical and devotional celebrations in the sanctuaries of the Holy Land. These were the topics that were covered in the conferences, sharing of both the achievements and the challenges of the various commissariats. Thursday, November 29th began with a Mass celebration for the solemnity of all the saints of the Order, presided over by Father Michael Perry, Minister General of the Order of Friars Minor. As we recall to mind the saints and the holy men of our seraphic order, let us return to the sanctity of life and live fully by the rule and life we received from St. Francis, endorsed by Pope Honorius III on November 29th, 1223. I have been invited to speak on the importance of the custody of the Holy Land for the Franciscan Order. I am full of joy in doing this, thanks to the strength of my personal conviction regarding the vital importance of the custody, both in today's present life of the Order, as well as in its ancient tradition.
Very important for the entire Order. I don't even like to say that it's important. I would like to say it's organic to who we are as Friars Minor. The custody of the Holy Land. The presence of the friars here in the Holy Land, as we prepare for we've already celebrated the 800th anniversary of the friars being here, but as we celebrate the encounter of Francis with the Sultan, we keep in mind that this mission continues, God's mission continues to welcome people, to accompany people, to be brothers to all peoples here in the Holy Land, and from the Holy Land to carry this message to all parts of the world, what God has in store for the future of humanity, a much more positive, much more hope-filled future than what we see right now.
The day concluded with the International Holy Hour at Gethsemane. On Saturday, November the 24th, new spaces were inaugurated as part of the restructuring project of the Terra school in the Old City of Jerusalem. Educating our children for peace is the motto of the custody of the Holy Land in the school sector, and the numbers that document this commitment are great. 4 schools in Jerusalem, 12,000 students and 1,200 employees to search, learn and spread the truth. We know that the importance of Jerusalem is significant, especially in this period, the heart of the conflict between Palestinians and Israelis, and for this reason the presence of the Franciscans and of the custody is important, thanks to the custody that provides education, work and housing. This is just part of the work that the custody has been doing for the past 800 years. A restructuring that took place thanks to the contribution of the European Union, the Pontifical Mission and also from the custody itself. Present at the event were some commissioners who have arrived for the 4th International Congress. Ambassadors of the custody, the commissioners perform an indispensable and valuable service, also on an economic level, a way to witness the fruits of their labor.
We have worked together with the custody of the Holy Land to renovate the Terra school, and we're very proud to be partners of this project, which is a contribution to high-quality education in Jerusalem.
It's been a pleasure to be here today at the blessing and the reopening of Terra School here in Jerusalem, to see the young people portray for us what they've learned, whether it's music, whether it's their culture, whether it's the sciences, and to know that the contributions of our faithful in Canada are being well used so that the Holy Land Mission may indeed continue to make the life of the people in this area a better life and witness to the love of Jesus.
We see the little ones growing, we see them blooming, and we see the younger ones and the bigger ones showing their skill, getting developed. It is nice to see them growing.
Per I commissari è importante rendersi conto di quelle che sono le opere.
For the commissioners, it is important to realize what the works of the custody of the Holy Land are, to realize the value education has and how important the investment in education is, and then realize that schools are the true laboratory of peace, and through them we create coexistence, ability to offer open-mindedness and a perspective of the future to the young people who attend our schools.
Offrire anche apertura mentale e anche, direi, prospettive di futuro ai giovani e ai ragazzi che adesso frequentano le nostre scuole.
Families entrust their children to our schools. It is our duty to take care of them, to take each child by the hand and to open their minds and hearts, helping them in their growth and education even in the face of difficulties. In his speech, Father Ibrahim, director of the school, stressed this fact. Giving education to students, especially the poorest. This vocation of the Brothers of the Christian Schools echoed throughout the world, including the Middle East, particularly in Palestine, Jordan, Turkey, Egypt and Lebanon. According to Brother Rafael Gonzalez, coordinator of Lasallian schools in the Holy Land and Jordan, the education services were initially provided free of charge, but with the needs of modern life, the growing number of students and the need to have more teachers imposed new burdens then shared by everyone, without exceptions. We have about 6,500 schools and about 280,000 teachers who work with us following the Lasallian spirit and providing education to about 1.2 million students in schools and universities, according to the last census of the congregation. We are working hard to convince some students who have lived the Lasallian experience to take the role of brothers in the school and so to remain in their land. However, subsidies are still given to poorer students. The brothers arrived in Jerusalem in 1876 and only later spread to Palestine. They founded several schools and are still operating in Bethlehem, Jerusalem and Jaffa.
نحن كمدارس لسالية بالأراضي المقدسة.
We as Lasallian schools in the Holy Land believe that what differentiates us is the quality of education. We are interested in Christian education, which is the cornerstone of the Christian school. We are proud that our schools are open to everyone. We have Christian, Muslim, and even Jewish students. Our slogan this year is Lasallians without limits. Our goal is to increase the students' skills and to give them the opportunity to test themselves. We have 5,100 students in the Holy Land. A service that is not limited to schools, but also extended to universities and colleges.
Well, first of all, Bethlehem University is one of about 60 universities that the De La Salle brothers have around the world. The university really tries to be for our young people a beacon of hope, where they can get an education, develop themselves, help contribute to the development of their families and to Palestinian society.